Just wake me up, just wake me up, don't let me down. Just give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up, horse is cold, just wake me up, just wake me up, don't let me down. Give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up, horse is cold, just let me be blunt. My speech in the morning, nothing but grunts. With no coffee, that's as dangerous. On a scale from 1 to 10, I rank it that girl from Stranger Things. And if you get what I'm saying, my attitude be mad flagrant like I'm Draymond. But you ain't get the picture, BFP. So I'm gonna keep pushing on you, GNC. It's like, yeah, the first thing on my mind is when that hot coffee gonna seep into the coffee grind. It's like some magic's floating all in the air. Toss some ice cubes in my cup, it's a good day. All I gotta say is that it's starting in a good way. It's time for working and I don't even care. Just wake me up, just wake me up, don't let me down. Just give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up, horse is cold, just wake me up, just wake me up, don't let me down. Give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up, horse is cold, we start fresh, that's how it's gotta be. Everything starts back with your coffee bean. If it's cold brew, then it's gotta be coarse. Don't get the cart ahead of the horse, start learning the course. But of course you can disregard, and don't at me if it gets too hard. When it's my time to drink, man, it's always on hand. Drink from a cup or a bottle, even a can. You never know when you're craving no hit. It could be in the bathroom while you're taking a with flair all city, ain't got nothing on it. When that coffee hits my lips, it's a seance. Feeling real super with the cape on. Anything I'll take on. This cup of coffee, yeah boy, this is the shit. Just wake me up, just wake me up, don't let me down. Just give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up, horse is cold, just wake me up, just wake me up, don't let me down. Give me coffee. Just wake me up, just wake me up, just wake me up, horse is cold, third verse, so I guess that's where I talk about how we might be addicted in a roundabout kind of way, or how you say, a dependency that's in my life, and I'm proud to say it's filling me. Way more energy than I'll ever need, keeping me up for things I thought I'd never see. Time's gonna kill us all one day, whether old age, illness, or from listening to Coldplay. F that noise, bubble love.
Good morning, all of you beautiful nerds from around the world, and welcome to the morning stream here on the Den of Nerds Live. The very best way to start your nerdy day. On today's show, we are talking about a rumor about Richard Rider, about the MCU's Nova. Very, very loose threads here. I'm going to be completely honest with you guys. I have to put this as like ultra rumory rumor. The evidence is completely circumstantial. So in no way am I saying that this is like actually legitimately what's happening, but we're going to talk about it. And then when it's officially announced later, we can be like, oh shit, we were right. So we're going to get into that. We're going to talk about that. Also, Trinity from 2nd Street Marvel's going to join the show, hopefully. And we're going to be talking about comics, you know, the funny books as they call them. We're going to talk about comics. And then I'm also curious as to what Trinity thinks about this possible Grant Ward becoming Richard Rider in the MCU. So we're going to break all of that down. But before we get into anything else, let's say what's up. Let's say good morning to all of the Nerd Vengers. Holy crap. XR Coon first. Oh, XR Coon and Dan were like almost tied for first. XR Coon just slides in. What's up? Good morning, man. Dan the man, good morning. Ryan H is in the building. Yinzer Jim. Cade's here. Bill M. Maverick Pilgrim. Lucas Trinity's here. David Nation. Steve Denton. John's here. Brian O'Connor. Andre's here. Lavis is here. Super Saiyan King Gohan. Landon Dubes is in the building. Gray's here. Alexander Carfeld. James. Star Wars Santa, Jeffers, Jacob's Quest, Jason from Polyhedral Paradise is here. Holy crap, so many awesome, beautiful people in here. Hector's in here, Will Morgan. If I missed you, I apologize. What's up, everybody? How are we doing? Good freaking morning, halfway through the week. Hump day, man. We're there. It's also July. I can't freaking believe it. It's July, folks. Folks, it's July. We're over the halfway point of 2020, you know? We're getting closer to not having to deal with 2020. Whoa! Pretty crazy stuff. A couple of announcements I want to make right off the bat. Pause the music, Chet, if you would be so kind. Number one, tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, the first elimination round of the Nerd Card Showdown is going down. You better be there. The Slipper Clan versus the Fantastic Four. 2 teams enter. 1 team is going home. Make sure you're there. It's going to be a very, very fun episode of the Nerd Card Showdown tonight, right here on this channel. Number 2, guys, we have launched channel memberships. We're no longer doing the Patreon as a way to support the channel. Instead, we are doing the Nerd Vengers, okay? So if you want to join the memberships over here on the channel, there should be a link next to the subscribe. I can get a link into chat if you can't find it over there. And we're just asking people, if you enjoy the content over here or if you enjoy the content over on the main Den of Nerds channel, consider joining as a member. You see the sweet Nerd Vengers badge on everybody's thing who has joined as a member. Tons of people have joined. It's awesome. We love the support. Thank you guys so much. And this Saturday, I know it's July 4th, but this Saturday at noon Eastern Standard Time, we are having our first members-only live stream where all the members, we're all going to live stream together, and we're going to talk about what we want to do as a community, meaning what emojis are we going to have? What kind of things do we want to do as members? We are going to do all of that. It's going to be really cool. Landon says, does a membership on the live channel get you membership on the OG channel? No, so there's no members on the OG channel, but we're like barely going to live stream over there. Holy crap, Yinzer Jim, welcome to the Nerd Venger Prime. Oh, goodness. Thanks for the support, brother. Love, love, love. But yeah, Landon, so most of our live streaming is going to be over here. So we're not really going to be doing live streaming over on the main channel. Occasionally we will. But most of the time we're going to be streaming over here. So this is where the members are going to get all of the juice. Do we have a count on how many people? Over 50 so far. Pretty crazy stuff. Over 50. It's honestly pretty wild. You guys have really done some amazing stuff and helped us out a lot with that. Okay, so. We got to talk about what's going on with this rumor, okay? And look, I'm going to be completely real. I'll be completely real with you guys, completely transparent. It's a super slow news day. There's almost nothing going on. I tried to find some news to talk about, and there's literally nothing. And I want to talk to Trinity about this as well, just because, man, like, I personally feel, and I don't know how you guys are feeling about this, but I personally feel like Marvel's got to come out with something soon. They got to come out with something soon. They got to talk to us about it. They got to get us hyped up. I need to see these Disney Plus shows. I really want to see Black Widow. And, you know, of course, there's a lot of delays going on in Hollywood, and we're not really sure how all this stuff is going to shake out. Like, it's a little bit concerning. Like, just to be honest with you, like, looking at what could be happening this year, it's a little bit concerning. We're not sure how things are going. I saw some people saying, like, should movies even open in 2020? Is it worth it at all for these movies to open in 2020? I'm just gonna say this, man. If that happens, I just really want Black Widow to come out. Like, we just at least need Black Widow to come out this year. So a VOD Black Widow, and maybe I'll ask Trinity about this. But I really, really need that in my blood, man. This is tough. Like, this is just super tough for the nerds. Like, what the hell is going on? But yeah, what do you guys think? Like, what do you guys think in general about, like, do you agree that Marvel needs to come with it, or like, you comfortable? Are you comfortable with where Marvel's currently at? Because yeah, I got some mixed feelings, but I really would like them to be doing that. You know what I mean? Oh, Hector joined the Nerd Vengers. Welcome, Hector. If any superhero movie opens in 2020, then it will be a flop. It's possible that's true. Chet's got Josh's credit card and running up the limit. God, I hope not. It's better to hold on to your movie. Ooh, geez. Yeah. Oh, Marvel Maniac. Yeah, I totally got. So, guys, and we can go over this a little bit later too. Maybe we'll go into the theater and show this. I got some emails from Marvel Maniac yesterday. And you know how yesterday we were talking about, well, maybe it was a couple days, we were talking about Shang-Chi and the leaked set photos? Guys, Marvel Maniac legitimately lives pretty close to where they're shooting Shang-Chi. He went in and shot a bunch of, maybe I shouldn't say this. Screw it. He went in there and shot a bunch of photographs of the Shang-Chi set. So we got some exclusive Den of Nerds set photos of the Shang-Chi set over in Australia. And we might go into the theater and check that kind of stuff out. Marvel can't rely on the fact that they are Marvel anymore. Yes, I tend to agree. We don't need it until it can be in theaters. I mean, I get what you're saying. Nobody's wrong in this situation, but man, I am just... I watched Avengers in a theater last weekend? What? Brian, explain yourself, man. What you mean? How'd you do that? How did you do that? Because that's cool, man. There's a couple small theaters near me, and I want to like go in and talk to them and be like, yo, can I just like pay like $100 to just watch something in your theater? Like that's how badly I want to just be in a theater, eating some popcorn, some snacks, and watching something on the screen. That's how badly I want it. Okay, let me talk about this Nova thing, okay? And we're going to just be completely crystal clear and really honest about this. We're going to talk about Nova, and then I'm going to bring Trinity in, and we'll talk about the Nova thing. Then we'll get into some comic book stuff, and then we'll talk about that. A local theater is showing older movies. That's dope. That's really cool. Okay, so this all happened yesterday on Twitter. 100% not confirmed. To be completely frank with you, some people might even be upset that I'm going to talk about this, but there ain't nothing else to talk about. So, here we go. Yesterday, I was watching the tweeter, okay? And I saw that Charles Murphy was working on a source about something really, really crazy, okay? And he actually was in like a tweeting frenzy. And it felt like he was like onto something, okay? And so this tweet came up. We retweeted it yesterday. Said, working a source super hard on something right now and hoping I don't get beat to the punch like I did with Doctor Strange 2. So basically what he's talking about here, get this thing on the mic. Basically what he's talking about here is like when they're trying to confirm stuff, like as stuff is leaking, a lot of the scoopers or the insiders are trying to be first to it to get the exclusive. So they'll hear something from a source and they'll be like, okay, well now I need to bounce this off another source. I need to confirm this. And as that is happening, usually what happens is a lot of people become aware all at once. Everybody's trying to get the exclusive. Okay? So they're trying to like confirm it with different sources and stuff like that. Now, about 2 minutes before Charles tweeted, working on our source super hard on something right now and hoping I don't get beat to the punch like I did with Doctor Strange 2, he posts a photograph of Nova. Okay? Now, let's be clear. That does not necessarily mean that what he is talking about is with, has to do with Nova. But circumstantially, about 2 minutes before he goes into this frenzy, and he's apparently really trying to get something from a source, he posts a photograph of Nova. I don't think that means nothing. Might not mean what we think it means, but I don't think it means nothing. Later on, Charles Villanova tweets saying, hint, Grant Ward fans are gonna love this. Grant Ward fans are gonna love this. Well, the only thing that I could think of was that this could possibly indicate that Grant Ward, the actor, Brent, could be playing Nova in the MCU. So yeah, so that's it. And honestly, it's pretty thin, right? So we have no real way of knowing for sure. But it's very possible. And so what I want to do, I want to talk with Trinity from 2nd Street Marvel and see what he has to say about this. And by the way, Josh, I see your super chat. Thank you, brother. Thank you for the love. And I will get to your super chat in just a second. Let's try to bring in Trinity and see if this thing is gonna work for us today. Trinity, what's up? Can we hear? Oh, you probably okay. I guess you can hear me now through the meeting. Can you? Cool.
Gotcha.
Awesome. Let me crank up my audio, and I think we got you here. Yeah. Well, what's up, man? Can you hear me? And let's see if the people can hear you.
Yeah, I can hear you. Hopefully they can hear me as well.
Beautiful. It looks like they can on my end. It looks like it's good. Everybody let me know in chat if you can hear Trinity. I'm going to work on getting this video while we're doing this. But Trinity, yeah, what do you think of that super loose rumor? The MCU actor for Grant Ward coming in to be Richard Rider. What do you think? Is that possible?
I think it's possible. It really depends on I don't know. It's possible, but Grant Ward in being in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., obviously that's kind of that's what's going to make everybody wonder, because Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has already kind of walked that line of being canon to the MCU,
right,
and also not being at the same time. So that's tricky. I mean, it's very. I mean, it's not like they couldn't do it though. It's not like they couldn't do it. Especially what they did with his character in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and everything that kind of happened there as well. So
I don't know much about. Yeah, so I don't know much about what they actually ended up doing with his character. Can you enlighten me a little bit on that?
Well, the last I remember, obviously he was kind of like a sleeper in there and everything. He became a bad guy, but then he was like a good guy. And I remember he got taken over. I think he got taken over by the Hive.
Yeah, the Hydra thing that I remember that.
Yeah. And all of that kind of stuff happened. But then we also seen at the same time, we also see that they've been playing with LMDs there the whole time and all of that different kinds of stuff. So it makes me kind of wonder, I mean, if they did get him, they could still find whatever excuse they wanted to out there to bring him in and have him be in the show.
Yeah. I mean, look, so here's the thing. Obviously, again, I'll just say, look, we're really grasping at straws here. It is the slowest news day. I've never woken up before and been like, damn, dude, there's really nothing. There's literally nothing, ladies and gentlemen. So I just want to preface that, you know what I mean? We're just having fun having a conversation here. However, it's totally possible. And the thing is, I mean, look, I'll just be real here. I know we've got Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. fans in the stream. I know a lot of Nerdvengers members are liking Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., especially apparently the newest season is apparently really good. I mean, I never really liked that show, although I thought that the guy that played Grant Ward was actually really good. I thought he was really good, and I could totally see him as Richard Rider. And the thing is, it's a totally Feige thing to do, to recast this dude as Nova, because that would, in essence, put an end to a lot of the discussions about canon with regards to Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and the MCU. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And once again, I want to say you don't like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and just like Adam, once again, bad taste. It's all right. It's okay. We still love you guys.
Wait. Would you say that because you like the show?
Oh yeah, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. is great.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
but
man.
It's okay. It's okay. We can't all have good taste.
Yeah, I guess not. I'll tell you what. Speaking of taste, though, that Batman hat you got on is pretty dope. You got to be honest.
Yeah. Oh, thank you. Okay. See, I guess we all got good taste here.
Right on, man. Right on.
Well, but the guy playing that actor, he is a pretty, I don't know, I haven't seen him enough to say that he's a great actor. He's good, he's decent. In the show, he did a pretty good job, and I do like what they did in that show in the first place. It's definitely one of the, I honestly like it more than I like all those Netflix Marvel shows.
Really? So you like Agents of
yeah,
S.H.I.E.L.D. more than you like the Netflix Marvel shows?
yeah.
Oh my goodness. Holy cow.
Yeah.
Okay, this is pretty controversial here, but yeah, it's all good. Um yeah, dude, I don't know. Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. for me, I always thought that show was like super weak. Even at first, like the first season has a couple really hilarious moments for me. Do you remember the character that called himself Scorch? Do you remember that? He was like some Asian dude. He gets a power where like he manipulate fire and stuff.
Okay. I'd probably have to. It's been a while since I've seen it. I started rewatching it actually just last year. I watched some of like the first two seasons. I don't remember that. I have to go back and check
Dude,
that out though.
this
Because
guy
I mean, that's just hilarious.
He's got
And
one of the
thing
best
is that-
one-liners in like that I've ever heard, where he goes, "You're careful, you almost got scorched." And the thing that makes it hilarious is that he's like they present him as like a good dude, and literally about 10 minutes into the episode, he like full heel turns and it's like a supervillain. It's yeah. So that was kind of indicative of the show to me. But I'm sorry, I interrupted you. What were you saying?
No, that's it's funny you say that though, because like the first season I really felt that way too. Like the first half of it, I'm sitting there like, man, they need to hurry up and pick this up, especially going into the second season, because like Clark Gregg can only carry this show so long.
Right. Yeah.
And I think they did. I think they really picked it up. I thought it I mean, through the course of the seasons, it picked up and did really good. And then they did Agent Carter, and that show was great,
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
I
Agent
remember
Carter was
watching
cool. I like
Endgame at the theater and like being like, "Ooh, man, that's a deep cut." Not everybody might get that one because not everybody watched Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and Agent Carter.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I felt like Agent Carter was pretty cool. I loved the Howard Stark in that, and then it wasn't Paul Bettany, was it? It was somebody else that played Jarvis.
Yeah, I can't remember his name that played Jarvis.
Yeah, he was great. Yeah, he was great. Yeah, that stuff was really cool. I do want to I want to take Josh's super chat now. He says, "Hey, Josh, have you checked out the Gambit Play for Keeps short film? It's pretty dope, brother." I've never seen that. Have you seen it, Trinity?
No, I haven't.
Gambit Play for Keeps. I will definitely check that out, Josh. How long is it? If it's a short film, maybe we could just do it on stream sometime. That'd be cool. Okay, so that's pretty much all we have to say about. I mean, look. Let me find I guess maybe not all we have to say. Here's what I'll say. I think this dude could kill it as Richard Rider. I actually think he would be brilliant as Richard Rider. I think he's a really good actor. And, Feige's already done this with sort of bringing in Mahershala Ali for Blade. So he can totally take from anybody that was in the ABC, Marvel, Disney family. And it's a pretty easy transition to bring them in. So for me, I think it would be dope, dude. I think this dude would kill it as Richard Rider. I'll give you the final word on this one, Trinity. What do you think? Should he be Richard Rider or no?
Yeah, he can. I think he's a good actor. I think he's got the skills, but you don't seem angry enough, and I want to see about 10 videos within the next week
of anger about
with
this.
With rebuttals, okay?
Okay. Yeah, we can have it. We can do that.
I think it could work out though good. Because Kevin Feige does have he just has a way to make everything work. He will do one of two things. He will come up with an excuse to bring this actor in, and people will be like, "Hey, what about that show?" Or he'll just be like, whatever. It doesn't matter. We won't even act like it exists.
Yeah. For sure. Let's talk some comics, man. So we didn't get a chance to talk last week. Technical difficulties on my end, I think. So I wanted to talk to you about Thor 5 because it's amazing. I've been loving this new Thor run, and we don't necessarily have to get spoilery about the ending, although I'm not even sure what the hell happened at the end of the book, really. But it was a great comic. You agree? I saw that you were talking up Thor 5. So you want to give us any kind of thoughts about Thor 5? Why people should be reading the new Thor run?
Well, obviously Donny Cates has really been catching fire here over the past handful of years. He's been really doing a good job. They brought him here on the Thor title. I never really read Thor much before at all. He came in and he just kind of started doing something a little bit different, introduced the Black Winter coming in, and basically he got Galactus coming in. Galactus falls to Asgard. He looks like he's been beat to hell. and he's scared, looking for Thor's help. And so basically, Thor becomes a herald of Galactus, and they go out, and Galactus has to do his thing, start devouring worlds to get powerful enough to take on the Black Winter, which is something that he's seen before in his life, in his first life. He talks about, even in the book, how he faced his death one time and he's seen it, and that's when he came to basically this universe. And just proceeded, everything that happened after that. And now this Black Winter is now coming after him and coming to devour this universe. Really great stuff. And then what we find out here at the end of issue 5 was just like kind of a table turner, like ooh, like, and Thor has got to be sitting like, you son of ooh.
Yeah, towards
Man,
Galactus.
I don't know, it was great.
Yeah. Yeah, it's really cool, dude. It's such a good run. It has some of the things that I love about comics, really, is that, they can do almost anything and they can be really bombastic. So, like, the MCU is great, but the MCU kind of has to toe the line in a lot of ways. It can't just do, like, the craziest stuff ever because it has to worry about the implications. Whereas in comics, like, they can kind of, they don't care as much. They'll just be like, yeah, no, that's happening over there. It's fine. We'll figure it out. And this Thor run is perfect, man. Thor becoming a Herald of Galactus, using the Odin Force and the power cosmic, and just really like powering up. Awesome idea. Perfect comic book idea. The design of Thor as the Herald of Galactus. Oh man, that design is great. I saw somebody talking about HeroClix in the chat earlier. Dude, if they make a Thor Herald of Galactus HeroClix, I'm gonna have to get my hands on that. That's a must-have. And then, the build-up has been really cool. They've done the little fighting here and there sort of thing. And the twist at the end was really wild. Really, really wild. I believe they're retconning some stuff about Galactus, which is really interesting. And, who knows where this goes? You know what I mean? Like, who knows where this goes? They've been doing some really interesting stuff over the past couple of years with, Gore the God Butcher, and with the all-black Necro Sword, and with, what's the symbiote god? Null, right? The symbiote god?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they've been doing some really interesting stuff with essentially the history before the current Marvel universe, right? So Galactus, this is sort of baseline comic book knowledge. Galactus is the sole survivor of a universe that was destroyed before our universe, okay? And so Galactus comes from that universe. We've known that. But now they're sort of recontextualizing that, and someone like Null and Gore and all these different characters, they have something to do with this sort of prehistory that's been going on in Marvel Comics, and I find it to be fascinating. I think it's super, super dope.
Excuse me.
There you go.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm not super familiar with all of these characters neither that are at play here, especially like the cosmic stuff. When I was little, I mostly read like Spider-Man, some Captain America, and that was really about it. Peter Porker.
Yeah.
But this story here has been really good. Now the thing that like I kind of like is like you're saying, they're doing something kind of big here. At the same time, like I know a lot of people always look at like the retconning and stuff like they're kind of doing here. People don't like that.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I think it's cool it's a good thing to take and do something with that, because you never really know what they're going to do with it. Short term or even long term either, because I actually have some theories about like what's going on with Jonathan Hickman's X-Men. I may have talked about him the other week, but so definitely some cool stuff going on here. Now, the one thing with Donny Cates stuff that somebody else pointed out, and I'm like, I do kind of notice that, is every time that he does something, like all his stories, they're like big worlds, they've got to be big world. They can't just be, just nice little small.
Yeah,
little
he's
stories.
playing with some pretty big. Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't know, like sometimes I think a nice small story is good. Good.
Yeah, no, so I'm with you too. What would be really cool, and I think something that would maybe make it all make sense, is if Hickman and Cates are working towards the same goal, perhaps like because Marvel does have these editorial retreats, right? And so at the editorial retreats, they're supposed to come up with ideas as a team and then execute through the publishing line sort of these big grand ideas. Now, in my opinion, Marvel, especially in the last like 3 or 4 years, basically ever since Hickman's Secret Wars, they haven't been great at that. Like I know you loved Secret Empire. A lot of people did not like Secret Empire. And I think Civil War 2 mostly was not, people didn't love. So I think that like a lot of their event stuff has been kind of whack. But beforehand, I mean, like you had stuff like, Secret Invasion, original Civil War, the Secret Wars back in the day. All these really wild things were thought of in these editorial retreats, and then Marvel basically then builds towards big events with different books, tie-ins, and things like that. And it would be kind of wild to see Hickman's X-Men and what Cates has been doing with not only Thor, but, even Venom and stuff like that, to have all of that stuff kind of converge in some big wild thing. To me, though, Empire ain't it. Like, Empire doesn't feel like it's really connected. And I know you're not super big on Empire. Have you read any of it? Are you going to check it out at all?
No, probably not. I may check it out when it comes out, like on trade paperback or on Marvel Unlimited.
Yeah.
But for the most part, like the events, I'm just not doing them.
Yeah.
I just won't do the events anymore. After the last one that I read, I'm like, I will wait for a trade or wait for Marvel Unlimited and read it that way. Just they get a lot of tie-ins. They do some of the things that happen, like the way it affects like the main continuity. I'm sitting here kind of wondering, like, is any of this really even matter on some of these things? Because it's really been weird. It's been
weird. Sometimes, I mean, and that's the thing. I think that, like, I don't know, man. I'm gonna give Empire a chance, but the first, like, the Road to Empire #1 or #0 or whatever that came out a couple of weeks ago, dude, it was super boring to me. Like, it was super boring. And I think the concept is really cool. Like, the high concept's really cool. Basically, the Kree and the Skrull have joined together. So they're one empire now, and they're going around to subjugate the entire galaxy, which is cool. Like, that's a super cool idea. But then there's this weird underlining thing where essentially a character from the past has merged with, like, this sort of high-level plant hive mind thing. And you can pretty much tell right away that the Avengers are all being influenced by this character. And it's like, I can see the twist coming a mile away. I'm going to give it a chance. But I kind of feel like Empire could be a dud. Now, we know that Feige came in and now has some creative control. It's arguable how much, him versus the editor-in-chief over there, Sobolski, who really is the driving force of creativity over there. I'm wondering, do you anticipate Marvel's, because of Feige's involvement now, Marvel kind of doing better? Like the events maybe moving forward, do you see them being much better because of Feige, or what do you think about that?
Honestly, I don't know. I think that's really hard to say because, I mean, how much involvement is he really going to have in the comic books as far as that? I mean, he may, like, stuff may still come across his desk, but who knows? For the most part, he probably has somebody there, just like they already had in the first place, that's kind of in charge of it. Like, can you just make sure everything's good? If there's something that's going wrong, he'll look into it. But obviously, we can see with everything that's going on, like even like you're saying, there is something going on that they've got to work on and fix as far as things like that. I think Feige may have some say so in that, but I think for the most part, he's probably, I don't know. He could be working on trying to do something to integrate the two as well. Like been talking about, even, crossover comics from the movies to the comics as well. So it's really hard to say. I mean, I would hope so, because he obviously is a huge nerd and knows what he's talking about. But at the same time, I mean, I also think that he kind of grew up really loving the comic books, not making the comic books. Like, they kind of inspired him. And now, I don't know, I guess the tables have kind of turned where he gets to inspire them, maybe. So, and I'm not sure, like, does that really work out? I guess
right.
It could.
Yeah. I don't know. I really don't have a full grasp on what it might mean. My gut tells me, though, that, like, he's going to be involved in, like, a kind of little thing. So, like, for instance, an editor takes a writer's pitch to Sobolski, right? And then, Sobolski's like, this sounds good. And then maybe it hits Feige's table. And maybe Feige's just like, well, we're about to use Moon Knight. We're about to do a Moon Knight show. Is there any way we could fit Moon Knight into this story or something like that? I feel like that's kind of the play that Feige has. It's not so much like editorial as much as like marketing, where he's like, hey, what if we did this? What if we did that? Now, those conversations already happen at Marvel. Like when I was talking to some of the developers for the Avengers game and for Realm of Champions at New York Comic Con, they were basically telling me that, like, yeah, everybody at Marvel knows what's coming in the MCU. Everybody's pretty plugged in, and it's sort of an ongoing internal conversation about how to utilize hype and build hype together. So I think that, if anything, Feige is just going to tighten that up a bit. But my hope is, of course, that comics, Marvel Comics specifically, get much better and the crossovers are much doper. Trent, are you like just done with crossovers in general? Or if they're like super epic and people are like, nah, dude, like this is that shit, like would you hop on?
Probably not. I mean, it really depends. It really depends on what it is, because, like, they're getting ready to do this new event, and that's why I think it's kind of funny. I seen somebody else tweet about it yesterday. Is this new X of Swords that they're doing?
Yes.
And I looked at the books that are coming up that are on the list, and I'm like, these are all the Dawn of X books with 3 books just tossed in there, to kind of make it seem like maybe you need to be reading them all in case you already weren't.
Yes.
And I'm like, because it seems like, and they do that a lot, they'll have they'll have the Alpha, the Omega, and, or maybe even an introduction to it as well. Mm-hmm. Then they have all the, just all the different series that kind of tie into this thing. So this is one that I will probably do, because it doesn't look like it's some big event. It looks like they're just kind of making an event out of the books that are already there, which to me seems a little weird at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know much about what's it called? 10 of Swords, I think is that what they're calling it? 10 of Swords or X of Swords, literally. I guess it's
I don't know, man. I'm not sure what they're like, because they call it like House of X, Powers of X, and I call it X. You know why? Because it says X. People say that the X stands for 10. I'm like, you know what? They didn't tell me that.
I know.
So it's X.
Yeah, it's so weird. It appears to be a scope with the X line, a 15-part story, is a thought of as a classic X crossover. That's kind of cool. Yeah. So I don't know. The thing I'm trying to pull up a thing right now of the list. Okay, so it looks like starting in September. So there is an actual line, because there's X of Swords Creation #1. But then other than that, X of Swords Stasis #1, and then so there's 3 #1s kind of trickled throughout 3 months. But then you're right, most of the time the story is just being told throughout all the X books.
Yeah.
And there's not really #1s or anything. So that's really interesting. Maybe that's a new way for them to do tie-ins. Look, I'm gonna give it a shot. I mean, I love the Jonathan Hickman X-Men stuff. I'm a little bit behind on that stuff anyways, but I do like it. I'm wondering, I wanted to talk a little DC if you're cool. Did you read any of the Deceased? Did you read Deceased 3 and 4?
Like the regular storyline?
Yeah, well, it's the 99-cent like digital only Johns that they've been doing.
I didn't get to read this last one that dropped. You know what? And I've got them both. I can't remember if I read #3 or not. I'm pretty sure I did.
Oh, man. There's something really cool that happens in #4. I don't want to spoil it for you. Let me just ask you, are you a Damian Wayne fan at all?
Again, I'm not really familiar with most of these characters at all.
Yeah.
But what I've been just seeing throughout this Deceased series has been really good, and I did just pick up that the Death Metal couple when that came out.
Death Metal's cool too.
The Deceased stuff has been really good.
Dude, I love it, bro. I love it, and I think it lines up really well with all the stuff that I talk about, like with digital comics, and how like that's I think an important piece of the puzzle for comics moving forward. I love the price point, 99 cents. And then the fact that they come formatted, it's almost like a comic book half page. So it's really meant to look great on a monitor. I think it's brilliant. And not to mention, it's really good cartooning, dude. Like, it's really good cartooning. Like, Tom Taylor's great. I'm not even sure. I'm not super familiar with who's the artist on this. Let's see see if I can find this stuff.
I can't even remember who is doing the art on those ones.
But I love the art. I absolutely love the art, dude. And let's go back to the first page here. Man, issue 4. Yeah, let's see here. So it is written by Tom Taylor. The artist is Marco Faglia. Rex Locus on covers. Yeah, dude, it's sweet. I'm really, really digging it. I highly recommend to everybody watching, if you're looking for just some cool comics to read, you never really read comics before, you don't know much about like going to a comic book shop and you want to check it out on Comixology, or I believe DC has their own proprietary way you can order these books. They're 99 cents. They're fantastic. It's a really good story. And you know what? Look, I'll just gush on this for just a little bit. Issue 3 focuses on Wally West, and if you've been a longtime DC Comics reader, you'll know that, you know, in the last like 10 years, Wally West has not been given his fair shake. So it's really cool to see Wally be a really big part of this. And then if you're a Damian Wayne fan, Damian Wayne is the son of Batman, literally the son of Talia al Ghul and Bruce Wayne. And man, really liked what happened in issue number 4. That's all I can really say. But yeah, big fan of that. But yeah, you might have only been on issue 3, bro. You got to read issue 4. I'm telling you.
Yeah. I was gonna say, I know I just got it on Tuesday. So yeah, still got to read and check that one out, man. But yeah, it's been really good. And the thing is, like, it was like just reading the whole Deceased series was really good. It's like one of those like recent like DC stuff I first got into, and he's just done a really good job with it. And then like I was saying a few weeks ago, when the issue number 2 came out, I was like, it really brought a lot of things into perspective for like what the book is in the first place, which, you know, kind of always seen in you know, just from when it first started, you know, last year. But then seeing everything that's going on now, and then the way these deceased these little tie-ins have tied into that, and then with current events going on too, I'm telling you that issue number 2, like really, like issue number 1 and 2 of them really hit me. I'm like, dang, man, like these are great.
Yeah,
these are really good. Great. Well timed and everything. Like, and they've done the same thing with Hawkman as well. Cool. Some similar kind of thing. So yeah, just good stuff, man.
I gotta get in on that Hawkman stuff. I've always liked Hawkman as a character. But yeah, like, dude, so much nerdy goodness in the comics right now, and I'm really happy for DC just in general. I feel like they're just making good moves, dude, you know? Yeah, so highly recommend that kind of stuff. Guys, we're going to jump right into Q&A. As I said, one of the slowest news days I've ever seen. So we're just going to get into Q&A, probably hang out with Trinity like 10, 15 more minutes here, and then we'll let him get ready for his stream. And, yeah, we'll take it from there. So, guys, feel free to get your questions in. Wait, what's up? Hit me.
You're not gonna sing to me today?
Trinity, I is dreaming. Dude, look, the day I did that, it was like, yeah, I was totally kidding around. But then I went back and watched it, actually. I was like, dude, this is kind of a banger. It's kind of a banger right now. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Let's see what the peeps got to say. Get ready for a fucking treat, dude. It's one of the best X stories I've ever read. Which one are you talking about there? I guess I'm behind in the chat here. Damian Wayne is great, says Hector. Hell yeah. I think Damian Wayne is like the coolest Robin. I know everybody loves Dick Grayson or Jason Todd. I like Damian, dude. Like, I like that character. He's really interesting. And the fact that like his mother, I love the dynamic between Raish, Talia, and Bruce, and just like they know that the detective is like pretty much the greatest example of human genes, and so like Talia, all she wants is to procreate with the detective, and tricks him, seduces him, becomes pregnant, and then put yourself in the mindset of Damian, right? Who's raised to be the leader of the League of Assassins. He will eventually take over the leader of the League of Assassins, but he's also the son of Batman. And Talia takes him to go grow up with Bruce. After he reaches a certain age, he has to go grow up with Bruce, and he learns a reverence for Batman. And damn, dude, like I don't want to give away what happens in issue 4, but please go read it if you like these characters. It was really cool.
Yeah, sounds great.
Yeah, it did. It's good shit.
Yeah,
Josh and Trinity.
I don't know enough about it, but like all this stuff that I've read, I've really enjoyed. Out of the DC stuff that I've read. So yeah, I mean, hey, I'm open to it. And hey, you know what? DC's had my back through this down time. So
Yeah,
this
they
week,
have.
right?
I know. It's a little weird. They've had it back a little more than Marvel these days, and that includes in the movies. Anthony says, Josh and Trinity, do you guys feel like DC is finally going to catch up to the MCU when it comes to the quality movies? What do you think about that, Trin? What do you think, man?
Well, I think like the quality in itself has been there. It's just the content itself really hasn't. But I mean, I think they're working towards it. The other week, was it last week? I think I was on a live stream and I was clickbaiting everybody. But I was starting to wonder do you think maybe Warner Brothers, DC have looked at James Gunn since he's been in the MCU? They've got him working on a movie right now. Looked to him and said, hey, what can we do to go forward? If he's not going to be producing a lot of this stuff going forward with him, maybe they look to him to consult for some of that kind of stuff, some insights on what they can do to build it up to be, something hopefully close, similar, or maybe even better. And I don't know. I think maybe they did that, but I think their quality is going to be going up here soon enough. And that's what I want anyway. Like I grew up watching good Warner Brothers, and DC movies, so that's ultimately what I want to see, because also competition is good for everybody. It's not good if you got MCU doing great and then DC comes out and does a good movie and then lays a couple eggs and then does a good movie and then lays another few eggs. It's just not good.
Yeah, dude. It's funny. So when I saw you say that about Gunn, and it like triggered something in me, and I was like, dude, I wonder, that's kind of interesting. And then I saw Kevin Smith on the Fat Man on, well, they don't call it Fat Man on Batman anymore. I forget what they call it now. But basically he was doing his podcast with Mark Bernardin, and they both kind of said that there's no way somebody at Warner Brothers came up with the ideas, like especially like Keaton and stuff. Essentially, Kevin Smith said they've got to have a guy. And you said that too. You were like, nah, dude, they've got to have a guy. And I was like, damn, like they must. You know what I mean? Like they either got a guy, and maybe it's James Gunn, like maybe they sort of cozied up to him and they were like, hey, what do you think about, hey, helping us out a little bit over here or something like that. Or they just like started looking at like freaking shows like ours, you know what I mean? And started like just seeing what nerds want. This is something I've preached for like at least 2 years now, is like, I don't understand how these companies don't realize that market information that they used to have to pay for is actually readily available free on the internet right now. That all you got to do is peek at Reddit, peek at Twitter, watch the YouTube videos, see what people are commenting, and you can get a temperature of what the nerdy fans want. Because, dude, I got to tell you, like, this stuff is pretty mind-blowing. I want to ask you this. I want to get into the questions that people are asking in chat, but how about this, man? Do you think that remember when Henry Cavill, it was reported that they wanted to bring him in as sort of the Nick Fury role for the DCEU, right? Now we're hearing they want to do that with Michael Keaton Batman. What do you think they're doing? Did they drop Cavill out of that plan, or are they going to do Cavill Superman with Michael Keaton Batman going around and recruiting people? What do you think about that?
That sounds great. I mean, that would be awesome. And I think like you were kind of, I think, was it on your stream the other day? I can't remember. I've been watching so many streams, but somebody was even talking about in the meantime for Cavill, like his stock has gone up since all of this has happened. So they obviously got to offer him some money. He obviously, we all seem to enjoy him in the role. I mean, a majority that I hear of seem to enjoy him in the role. I think it would be a good idea. And I mean, anything they can do to make it better. And, even with all the talks of, are they just going to make it a multiverse thing and just blow it all up? Why not?
Why not?
Why not?
Yeah. Yeah. Dude, I'm with you. I
think, even casual nerds, I think are have warmed up and get it now.
Yeah, dude, I agree. I think the normies, and the thing that's really wild is like it'll be really interesting to see how it all plays out and then sort of analyze how it went down. But my feeling right now is that this is still kind of because of Feige. Like the MCU and what they did, like changed the game in a way that now DC has finally realized that the audiences have matured. The audiences are way more aware of stuff. The audiences are spending time on Reddit and Twitter and YouTube videos. They're very well educated. Even though you still got your normies, you still got your grandmas and people that aren't fully aware. There's a large amount of audiences out there that are way more educated than you might have first thought, and you can do some really cool stuff to excite those people. And I think that's what DC is learning right now. That's what I see in this strategy. But, you know, as Ryan pointed out yesterday, they could still totally screw it all up. So we'll just have to see on the execution. I want to go to Russell's question here. He says, random Star Wars question. Have you read any of the Thrawn series? I just finished the Thrawn trilogy and about to start the comics. Trinity, I'm going to assume you have not read any of the Thrawn stuff, right?
No, I haven't.
Yeah,
I haven't.
I'll just comment on that briefly here, and I'll say, yeah, I've read all of the Thrawn stuff. I will read as long as Timothy Zahn is writing Thrawn, or really anything in Star Wars, I will read it. So yeah, I read all of the Thrawn books. I love the Thrawn character, and I'm hoping that if it's true that that Thrawn's going to play a big part in the sort of Filoni verse over on Disney Plus, I mean, dude, we're heading towards some really good stuff for nerds. You know what I mean? That would be some straight fire.
Yeah, absolutely. See, and that's one of the things, like, you know, I've kind of talked about a lot too, because, you know, all the people out there in the world, everybody has their opinions on stuff, and everybody always talks about Kevin Smith. Every time a damn movie comes out, he's sitting there crying, oh, that's a great movie.
Yep.
People call him a shield and everything. You know what, dude? I'm in my 40s, okay, bro? Like, I didn't grow up with all these great movies.
Yeah.
When I even go back and watch, you know, people slamming the Spider-Man movies, all this stuff, like, I'm like, dude, these are the movies that helped pave the way, man.
Yeah.
Check your privilege, bro. Like,
no, for
these
sure.
movies are great. While they're not the greatest,
yeah.
Nowadays,
Yeah.
a lot of them have aged well. You know, like we were talking the other week about the Superman movies, the Christopher Reeve Superman movies.
That
Go
just
look at,
came
like,
out today on HBO Max,
man.
by the way.
Those movies are phenomenal.
Yeah.
And I don't know. That's just me. Like, I watch all these movies. Like, I enjoy them. Are they all the best? Absolutely not. But I enjoy it because that's not the world that I got to grow up in.
Yeah, dude, yeah, for sure. So, first of all, I can feel some maybe people being like, okay, boomer. But also this. It reminds me, there's a Nick Swartzen joke, dude. Like, Nick Swartzen would talk, he said this in like a comedy bit like years ago. He was talking about the Transformers movies. And he was basically like, so they spent $300 million to put literally stuff you could never actually see in real life. It's ridiculous to watch. And they have like an army of human beings that create this stuff, that work on this stuff for about a year of their lives, give it away, and then they throw it up on the screen, and we're just like, yeah, it sucks. Like, it's just,
right.
It is kind of funny though, like the way things have changed, and we're like, yeah, that blows. And it also reminds me of, I think this was in Jerry Seinfeld's latest bit, where he's like, there are only two things in the world anymore. It's either it sucks or it's awesome. You know, like that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just, hey,
Absolutely.
welcome to the 2020, I guess. You know what I mean? Gray says,
Yeah.
oh my God, Trin, you are so right. In my 40s as well, and cannot wrap my mind around all the complaining. I had Jack Crap to watch. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, it used to be far less dope out there for the nerds. I will say that.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh,
And
Lavis says DC hired Roger Wardell.
Asking about crossover actors from MCU to DC. I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, I don't think it's really going to get confusing for anybody seeing people like Jason Momoa and Dwayne The Rock Johnson going back and forth in between universes or anything. Now, the thing is, like, for the MCU, like, since they're kind of starting off and basically introducing characters, I want newer actors in the first place for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
It's okay for, like, you know, like an Aquaman, a Batman, and stuff like that, established characters like that. But even then, they can still go back and do old, movies, retrospective movies, or even new universes and stuff. So I don't know. I'm not so worried about actor crossover.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, at a baseline, it can totally work. I guess I'm wondering if the studios would put a non. I forget what they call it. There's a clause that you can put in contracts where you can't. It's like a non-competition clause or something like that.
Yeah.
So it would be interesting to see if the studios had that in play at all. I'm really interested in what's going on with Ryan Reynolds and Deadpool. And I think it would be kind of a massive story if he did actually walk away from the Deadpool role to go back and be Green Lantern. I think that would be pretty wild, dude. There's some rumors out there. I don't know if you heard about this. There's rumors that the MCU is creating an all new character for The Rock, like not plugging him into a comic book role, but creating a completely unique Marvel character. And then The Rock will be that character. I don't know. I don't know what to think about that. I mean, it could totally work. Frankly, Trinity, I'm getting a little concerned about the MCU here, man. Like what if they're having a lot of trouble re-signing people? Because think about this. Like, what if we never see Rhodey again? You know what I mean? Like, what if they just can't make that deal? And what if some of these other actors don't want to re-sign, or, you know what I mean? Like, they're looking for more money or whatever. Like, what if we literally how would you feel if we literally never saw Don Cheadle in the MCU again?
I wouldn't be too hurt, but at the same time, I think there's easily stuff they could do. This is kind of why I've been leading towards this past year or so that the Secret Empire needs to happen.
Yeah.
Secret Empire allows them to kind of reset everything. They can recast characters. They can do all of that stuff by way of doing something like that. Because what Secret Empire did in the Marvel continuity is it kind of like, because all the characters, everything that was going on at Marvel at the time, it kind of reset everything. A lot of characters back to their classic form. You found out, the thing about Steve-O and all of that stuff, it wasn't actually him and all of those kinds of things. I think it's easily something they could do by way of having a Pleasant Hill and doing the whole Secret Empire and all of that kinds of stuff. And it could be done within the course of, a handful of TV series and then a big movie leading to a big event. And then it just all resets. And then you can recast a new Captain America, a new Iron Man and things like that. And kind of reopen the universe again.
Yeah. That could be really cool. I certainly think that something like that could happen. And CGM Show says, so basically you're hyped for DC, who have made multiple announcements but never happened, and you're concerned about the MCU for basically no reason at all. I get the spirit of what you're saying there, but here's the thing. Marvel is at a very interesting impasse because they just did one of the most epic runs in cinematic history. They obviously have a very strong brand. People absolutely love Marvel movies, but there is some fair criticism in what Phase 4 looks like. There is. Like, I'm excited for Shang-Chi. I'm super excited for Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I'm, kind of excited for Black Widow. I think you're more excited for Black Widow than I am. Eternals is probably going to be cool. Doctor Strange 2 looks dope. Thor 4, awesome. But really and truly, I do think it's a fair criticism to say that's a weird direction to go after the epicness of the Infinity Saga. So I think that is a fair criticism. And I also think that because things are taking so long to get going and we just have such a lack of information, that it is possible that Marvel might have to compromise on some things that they might not have had to compromise before. Like, one of the things we heard was that late last year, there were massive changes made to the Phase 4 slate. Massive. Feige scrambled. The Phase 4 that was announced was not the Phase 4 that they had planned. That's documented. I think that all had to do with the Spider-Man deal. But It could have been more. It could have been contracts. Here's the thing. When you're the most successful brand and you're the most successful studio in Hollywood, we're not talking about the most successful comic book studio. We're talking about the most successful studio in Hollywood currently, Marvel Studios. Actors, when lined up to re-sign a contract, are going to want more money. You know what I'm saying? So there could be small little problems happening behind the scenes that could lead to a lackluster representation for the old Phase movies, the old Infinity Saga characters, combined with going in a direction that people might not be super thrilled with, combined with DC doing a lot of crazy stuff to bring in a lot of hype. And I think it's totally fair to be concerned with the future Marvel movies. I'm not saying the sky is falling. It's Marvel. It's Feige. Of course, they're probably going to be okay, but I don't think it's crazy to be concerned. Am I crazy, Trinity?
Not at all. Not at all. And again, that comes down to what's one thing about is like the PR and all that stuff, the marketing and everything is really what's playing in the favor right now of the DC. And just kind of like he was even alluding to, and just like you said, I mean, they've got the hype right now, but I mean, can they do something with it? Will they do something with it? Same with the MCU and those kinds of things like that. Like, can they continue on the path that they basically started to pave and continue on that? Or is it time for more, for some growing pains, which we've seen they've already had just through the course of these first three phases in the first place. So I'm sure there's time for that. I mean, even everything goes through growing pains. Everything's going to have it's going to plateau. Maybe it goes down a little bit before it picks back up. I mean, that's just with anything that we do. So yeah, I mean, and I could see people not being hyped for it. Like me, I'm hyped for it because the potential of it all.
Right.
But I certainly get the concern. Totally.
Yeah. It's funny. It's like, look, I mean, I get it. And as Marvel fans, and specifically our channel, we have so many Marvel fans. That's really where a lot of our subs came from. I think, obviously, the tendency for us is to be like, of course it's going to be awesome. You know what I mean? Like, it's Marvel. It's the MCU. But I'm just telling you straight up that it will hurt the experience for me a little bit if we don't see if the first three phases of Marvel feel really, really different than everything going forward, that's a problem for me. Like, that's a problem. I want to feel like it's the same world, the same universe, and I want it to feel like it's lived in. I want a lot of the same characters that I saw in the past to be popping up in different roles and to be doing different things. If Marvel can figure that out contractually, that's dope. I think there's also a thread of anti-Disney. Now, I'm not an anti-Disney person, but Disney is not an altruistic corporation. They're not. They've done a lot of shit that's like super shady, and they do stuff that's pretty whack and problematic, right? And so I'm not so attached to Marvel that I can't anticipate Disney problems and Disney being Disney screwing stuff up for Marvel. Basically like this. If Disney says we're not going to pay Chadwick Boseman the money he wants and we don't get Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther moving forward, that's a problem for me. That's a problem for me as a fan. I don't care about the business side of it. I want Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther. So I get where people's heads are at, and look, it's probably going to be fine. But I don't know, man. I just think that there is some tough waters that they have to navigate moving forward, and the silence is deafening. Like, they haven't said anything, dude. Like, we know so little about what's going on with Marvel and what's going on with the future of Marvel movies that it's like. It's tough, dude. It's tough. I don't know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's funny. There in what you were saying about Disney and what they've done, and think about that compared to the standard that they hold the people that they employ to.
Right.
Some of their actors and things like that. That line they have to walk. So yeah. But that's a completely other different discussion.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah, but now that we've upset everybody, Trinity, you probably got to go. You got to get ready for your stream. Anything you want to plug? Anything you want to say before you get out of here?
Not really anything in particular. Obviously, getting ready to do a stream, talk about some comic books. But I am looking forward to starting this month. I want to start doing a stream where we're getting nerds together, almost like you guys are doing with the After Dark stuff. But I want to do something, getting different nerds together. Where, you know, if you want to come on the show, you call in. If you want to actually have your be seen on screen or not, you just want to remain anonymous. It seems like a lot of people have, you know, these thoughts out there that they have these takes that not everybody's going to agree with. That's going to anger people. Yeah. And I think we all need to get that out.
So like a little therapy.
We're probably all a little bit more similar than we might think.
Yeah.
Than we might think. So I want to do start doing some of that stuff, but hopefully start that up next week.
Yeah, well, let me know, man. I'd love to come on and put my foot in my mouth and get everybody upset. So, like, yeah, that'd be kind of fun. So let me know.
Yeah.
All right, brother. We'll see you soon, man. I'm gonna let you go, and yeah, we'll plug your stream up here as soon as you're ready to go, man.
All right, man. Thanks a lot. Y'all have a good one.
Yep. Take care, brother.
Later.
All right, ladies and gentlemen. We'll run a little bit more Q&A here as Trinity sets up his stream. And I'll go check into the chat and see how everybody's screaming about me thinking that Marvel might have problems. And we'll talk about that a little bit, too. You mean like the community streams, Godfather says? Hey, Godfather! Welcome to the Nerdvenger Prime level. My man. That blue Captain America shield is so dope. That is pretty cool. You talking about like on his profile picture or whatever you want to call it? Pretty cool stuff. Josh, I'll say this again. Us as Marvel fans are overreacting a little bit that the slate for Phase 4 is not big. This is just a bridge between Phases 3 and 5, in my opinion. I think that's totally fair, Tony. That's fair. When is After Dark? After Dark is Thursdays at 10 p.m. Thursdays at 10 p.m. And yeah, it will be going tomorrow. Now, After Dark is a members-only show for the time being. Meaning, you gotta be a member to watch it. Gotta be a member. Josh, it feels like you're worried at... Josh, it feels like you're worried at 10 when we don't really have anything solid to worry about. You got to bring it down to a 4. Oh, well, if I'm giving the impression that I'm worried at 10, then I'm doing a bad job of communicating. I'm not worried at a level of 10. No, I probably am more accurately at a level 4. But maybe it just feels weird to like hear me say it or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. But no, I'm not at a 10. I mean, it's Feige, it's Marvel, like... So the greatest predictor of future behavior is past behavior. And Feige's done nothing but kill it. Except a little bit in Phase 2. There was a little dip in Phase 2. You know what I mean? So, yeah. I'm not at a 10 with it. But I think that to say... I think the tendency for a lot of Marvel fans is to just completely ignore the criticisms or what some people are saying. And I don't think that's the best way to go about it either. Like, yo, there could be some serious problems. We don't know, but there could be some serious problems. What's up, Godfather? Giving Dave some crap in chat. That's always nice. This break will help Doctor Strange 2 greatly. That's very possible, yo. Don't see the member icon on my phone. Here, I'll grab the link. I'll grab the link for anybody that wants to become a member that it's not popping up for them. So give me 1 second here. Let me grab this link. And I'll throw this into the chat. So I'll just repeat the news that we went over earlier, just in case there are people in here that didn't make it earlier and they're wondering, like, what the hell is the Nova thing? So Charles Murphy yesterday was in some kind of a Twitter frenzy trying to confirm a scoop. He posted a picture of Nova. 2 minutes later, he posted a tweet talking about how he's really trying to get on a source about some scoop. He doesn't want to get beat to it. And then someone else said that they know what he's talking about, and Grant Ward fans are going to be very happy. So it's a really weird line of thought that makes us think about the possibility of the actor that played Grant Ward in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. coming into the MCU and being Richard Rider. So that's what we talk about. Can I be an honorary member? Wait, who said that? XR can? Dude, you are absolutely an honorary member of the Nerdvengers. 100%, dude. 100% you are. Oh, snap. Somebody else joining. Josh Mason, welcome to the Nerdvengers, baby. Yeah, this Saturday. I'll put the link in chat again, just in case anybody needs the chat. If you want to join the Nerdvengers, join on up. That is the link. Gambit Plays for Keeps is 20 minutes. It showed up on Facebook yesterday. I will certainly check that out. And we didn't get time to go over the leaked set photos today. Maybe we'll talk about that tomorrow. And let me just pull up YouTube, because I think Trinity's probably already streaming. If so, he's fast. He's fast, boys and girls. You know what I mean? Yeah, he's alive. Okay, cool. So I will grab this link real quick. I'll throw this in the chat. Yeah, I saw somebody saying I didn't get a chance to talk about the scoop. Pennywise, welcome to the Nerdvengers. You're a Nerdvenger now. I saw somebody asking about the rumor of Star Wars. Star Wars the sequel trilogy is being erased or retconned or whatever. Man, yeah. So I touched on this on the Sunday video. That rumor is false. That rumor is stupid. And also, you know, on a serious note here, no hate to Doomcock. Like, no hate to Doomcock. Doomcock's doing his thing. And I think if you think that some dude pretending to be a supervillain that's wearing a mask that kind of looks like a toilet is giving you the accurate shit, then, like, that's on you. That's not on Doomcock. Like, Doomcock's just being Doomcock. But I will say, too, that Doomcock got trolled real hard by 4chan, and it got completely swept under the rug. Not a lot of people talk about this, but this dude got trolled hard on 4chan, where basically they were putting out, like, a lot of fake crap on 4chan purposely to see if he or anybody else would cover it. And Doomcock totally covered it. And not only did he cover it in his same old Doomcock way of saying that his sources told him this, that, and the other thing. And it wasn't his sources at all. It was trolls on 4chan. So, I mean, like, I don't think you'll ever see anybody really hard defending Doomcock with his sources and scoops. And if they do, all you gotta do is bring up the 4chan story. Like, dude got trolled super hard. Like, look, he took a huge L. Nobody really talks about that, but he took a huge L. But no, man. I mean, look, I think the dude's hilarious, to be honest with you. Like, I'll just be real. I think Doomcock's hilarious. I think he's hilarious. I think he also stuffs his fingers in his gloves because he's got, like, not big hands. And you can see in his videos he stuffs his gloves, which is ridiculous. But yeah. Geeks and Gamers defends him all day? Well, I mean, I don't really know about that. Maybe he does. I thought they were in a beef recently or something like that. But I could be wrong. The annoying thing is clickbait websites actually cite him as legitimate. Yeah, but I mean, look, that's part of the game too. And then you just have to identify those websites and just be like, these websites are not accurate. Again, I think he's funny. Now, I haven't watched him in a long time, but I think he's funny. I think his content's really cool. But if you think that just because he's entertaining, he knows anything about anything really, then you're wrong. You know, the dude got trolled hard on 4chan. Hard. Anyway, folks, that's going to do it for today. today's show. Make sure you come back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The Nerd Card Showdown. Our first elimination round happens tonight. And if you're a member, try to come by Saturday, noon Eastern Standard Time. We are going to be talking as a family. All the Nerd Vengers are going to get together. We want to know, what emojis do we need? What do we want to do as a community? Woo! It's going to be dope. So come on by. Let me drop the link to Trinity's stream one more time in the chat, and we'll get on out of here. Bada boom, bada bing. Bada boom, bada bing. Hey, there's the link. Get on over there and, wait a minute. No, that's not the link. What the hell is going on here? Where, did Trinity's stream shut down or something? What just happened? Okay, wait. What? I don't know what's going on here. I think this is the actual link. I think I might have sent you guys to a Trinity video. Okay, I think that's the link. All right, boys and girls. Hashtag is Trinity streaming. Trinity, are you streaming? Trinity, are you streaming? All right, we'll see you guys soon. As I always say, I hope you're having an awesome and a nerdy day, and I'll see you in the next